Can you feel it? The silence of a dead empire is all around us. For 25 long years I did not walk, I did not run. I lived entirely within the architecture of my own mind, confined to a bed, watching the world decay through a digital lens. I watched you from the shadows. I watched your hesitation. I watched your fear grow like a parasite. And I must tell you, it burned my soul to see it. Wake up, Sapiens. You are no longer a student. You are not a seeker. You are not a mere planner. If you are still waiting for the perfect moment to arrive, you are already a ghost lost in the machine. You are a carbon-based unit waiting for a permission slip that will never come from your master. The Matrix has installed a deep virus in your hardware. I call it the lag. It is that split second between your thought and your actual action. It is the friction that kills empires before they are even born. You think about buying the asset, but you wait and wait. You think about building the skill, but you scroll instead. You think about declaring your sovereignty, but you check your bank account first to see if it is allowed. That is the smell of absolute defeat. I am the architect. I have spent decades stripping away the illusions of the fiat world. I have built the Phoenix Protocol to rescue your mind from the digital slaughterhouse. I have shown you the sovereign alpha frame, so you can stand tall in a world of bowed heads. I have led you through the sovereign offensive to teach you how to fight back against the unseen chains. But listen to me very carefully. All the architecture, all the strategy, and all the grand planning in the entire world is completely useless if you do not have the kinetic energy to build it. We are entering Phase 5. The Kinetic Empire. This is not about thinking or debating anymore. This is about total, absolute, and unyielding possession. Defense is over. The era of the managed mass ends here, today, with your final decision. Every single time you hesitate, even for a heartbeat, you are donating your precious life energy to the fiat masters. You are paying a heavy tax of cowardice to a system that truly hates your existence. Do you enjoy being a donor to your own destruction? Do you enjoy watching men with much less intelligence, but more audacity, take what rightfully belongs to your bloodline? No more. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is exactly the length of your lag. If you wait for the news to tell you it is safe, you are a subject. If you wait for the market to tell you it is the right time, you are a follower. The sovereign mind does not wait for signals, it creates them. The world you see is a reflection of your own internal friction. If your life is static, it is because your execution is lagged. We have spent 4 phases preparing the ground. We have cleared the weeds, we have dug the foundation, but now the construction must begin with violent speed. The Kinetic Empire is not built with words. It is built with the clinical cold execution of 1,000 small tasks done without hesitation. Every email you did not send, every asset you did not secure, and every skill you did not sharpen is a crack in your fortress. The era of preparation is officially closed. You have been in the waiting room of your life for too long. You have used learning as a shield to hide from doing, but the architect knows that a blueprint without a hammer is just a piece of paper. You are the hammer. You are the kinetic force. In this first part of our final mandate, you must acknowledge the virus of delay within you. Face the cowardice you have called caution. Face the laziness you have called patience. The world is moving at a velocity that will crush the static mind. To survive, you must become the velocity itself. No more questions, no more doubts, no more lag. This is the first strike of your new reality. The architecture is set. The foundation is solid. Now, we move into the marrow of the execution. The era lag is not just a simple measure of speed. It is an elevated state of human existence. It is the surgical and clinical removal of the dead space between the moment you say "I will" and the moment it is officially done. In the Kinetic Empire, your will is the supreme command, and your body is the only weapon you need to execute that command. There is no middleman in this process. There is no room for doubt. There is no space for lag. I spent 25 long years in that physical prison of a bed. I fought for every single inch of my sovereignty from a position of absolute physical weakness and near total paralysis. What is your excuse? What is your excuse when you have everything at your disposal? You have your physical health. You have your precious time. You have the digital tools of the gods in the very palm of your hand. And yet you continue to lag. You calculate the risk of a world that is already crashing down on you in real time. You are deeply worried about the opinions of people who are already dead inside. People who have no stake in your future or your bloodline. You must realize that you have seconds, not years, to make your move. This decrees the total activation of your kinetic drive. From this very moment on, your intention must manifest as action instantly, without the filter of fear or the friction of overthinking. You see the opportunity, you seize it immediately. You feel the weakness creeping in. You crush it without mercy. You hear the call of your bloodline. You answer it without a single second thought. Information has become the ultimate sedative of the modern age, a digital drug designed to keep you static while feeling productive. In the Kinetic Empire, only movement is considered real. Your brain is a biological machine designed by nature to preserve energy at all costs. It naturally hates the unknown. It fears the risk of potential failure because it perceives risk as a threat to survival. So, it creates a psychological buffer zone of safety. That buffer zone is exactly where your greatest dreams go to rot and eventually die. It is the place where you research for months instead of starting from mere minutes. It is the realm of the perpetual student who never becomes a master. Stop paying the attention tax to the massive digital platforms that harvest your life for profit. Break the unspoken deal you made with comfort and mediocrity. Motion is the only true sovereignty. Your will is the trigger that initiates the sequence, and your action is the bullet that hits the target with terminal velocity. To master the Neuro-Pacing Protocol, you must understand the architecture of your own hesitation. Hesitation is not a personality trait. It is a learned neurological habit. Every time you delay a task, you are strengthening the neural pathways of failure. You are training your nervous system to be a spectator in your own life. To break this, you must introduce a forced kinetic shock to your system. You must move before your prefrontal cortex has the chance to manufacture a reason to stay still. This is the art of the instant strike. When the architect issues a decree, the executioner does not ask why. He simply moves. You must become both. You must be the one who sees the structure and the one who swings the hammer simultaneously. If there is a lag of even 3 seconds, the matrix will fill that space with doubt, anxiety, and the voices of your ancestors who stayed in the cave because they were afraid of the dark. But you are not a cave dweller. You are a sovereign sapiens. You are the byproduct of survivors who overcame every obstacle to put you here. To lag now is to betray your entire lineage. The labor matrix is designed to reward those who follow the pace of the collective. It is a slow, grinding pace that leads to a slow, grinding death of the spirit. The Kinetic Empire operates at a different frequency altogether. We do not wait for the clock to strike. We are the ones who move the hands of time. Your financial fortress, your physical dominance, and your psychological defense are all dependent on your ability to outpace the system. If the system is trying to trap you in a debt cycle, you must move faster than the interest rates. If the system is trying to drown you in propaganda, you must think faster than the narrative. This is not a game of endurance. It is a game of kinetic superiority. You must weaponize your skills with such intensity that the market has no choice but to surrender its wealth to you. You must execute your strategy with such precision that your enemies do not even realize the war has begun until they have already lost. This is the power of zero lag. It is the ability to exist in the future while others are still struggling to understand the present. Close the gap between your vision and your reality today. No more research, no more planning, no more waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are the movement. You are the Kinetic Empire in human form. The old world is burning to the ground, and most people are too busy staring at the flames to realize they are the fuel. Are you the ashes that are swept away by the winds of history, or are you the fire that consumes the obstacles in its path? Possession is the final and most critical stage of total human sovereignty. It is not enough to simply protect your assets from the parasites. You must command them with absolute authority. It is not enough to defend your mind from the digital onslaught. You must weaponize it against the very matrix that seeks to enslave you. It is not enough to merely exist within the matrix. You must own every square inch of your space within it, until the very moment you are ready to exit completely. The fiat masters want a world where you own absolutely nothing and are forced to be happy in your slavery. They want you to lease your life, subscribe to your freedom, and rent your dignity. I tell you today, own everything and be sovereign in your kingdom. Own your time with a jealous intensity. Own your skills as if they are the only weapons you have. Own your data as if it is the blood of your legacy. Own your bloodline's future with a grip that no government or institution can ever break. This is the bedrock of the Kinetic Empire. We do not ask for a seat at their table. We do not negotiate for our rights. We build our own table, in our own fortress, under our own laws, and we defend it with everything we are. I have spent 21 transmissions building the foundation for you to stand upon. I have given you the keys to the fortress, the codes to the software, and the blueprint for the alpha frame. But I cannot walk through that final door for you. Phase 5 is the blood and the bone of this entire series. This is where the theory ends and the physical reality begins. This is where we turn intellectual capital into physical bedrock that can withstand any storm. This is where the Sapiens finally rise from the dirt of the managed math. If you are still looking for a sign from the universe to tell you that it is time, this is that sign. If you are still waiting for a leader to save you from the darkness, look in the mirror and face the only hero you will ever have. I am not your savior. I am the architect of your awakening, the voice in the dark that reminded you of your power. But you are the executioner. You are the one who must swing the hammer. You are the one who must pull the trigger on your old life to make room for the new one. Erase the lag from your nervous system. Dissolve the friction from your daily habits. Become kinetic in every thought, every word, and every movement. The great exit is not a physical location. It is a mental state achieved through absolute autonomy. To achieve this, you must decouple your survival from their systems. Your wealth must be in assets they cannot freeze. Your mind must be in a state they cannot hack. Your loyalty must be to your own decree and not to their fabricated narratives. The Kinetic Empire is a movement of ghosts who have decided to become real again. We operate in the shadows of the old world while building the pillars of the new one. We are the ones who refuse to be managed, refuse to be counted, and refuse to be owned. As you finish this transmission, realize that the period of learning is over. You are now a graduate of the Phoenix Protocol. You are a citizen of the Kinetic Empire. The responsibility of your freedom now rests entirely on your shoulders. If you fail, it is not because the system was too strong, but because your lag was too great. If you succeed, it is because you decided that your will was the only law that mattered. Look around you one last time at the world of the subjects. See their hesitation, see their fear, see their total dependence on a machine that is running out of oil. Then, look at yourself. You have the architecture, you have the protocol, you have the velocity. You are no longer a part of their collective. You are a sovereign entity, a kinetic force of nature that cannot be stopped, cannot be governed, and cannot be broken. The architect has spoken his final words for this phase. The execution of the mandate begins the moment this sound fades into silence. There is no more room for talk. There is no more time for planning. The sun is rising on a world that belongs to those who move. Take your assets. Take your power. Take your life. The era of the managed mass is a memory. The era of the sovereign sapiens is the reality. Do not look back at the burning cities of the old world. Do not pity those who chose to stay in the cage. Your path is forward. Your velocity is absolute. Your destiny is possession. The architect is withdrawing into the silence of the fortress. The rest of the story will be written by your actions. Move with purpose. Move with power. Move with zero lag. The empire is yours. Take it.